This is the Financial Intelligence Podcast brought to you by the UK Financial Intelligence Unit. The UKFIU has a national remit to analyse information on economic crime received through suspicious activity reports. All views expressed by panellists on the podcast are their own and not necessarily those of the UKFIU.
Hello and welcome to the UK Financial Intelligence Unit podcast. My name is Emma Jane Turner and I am currently the engagement lead on the UKFIU's international team. Today I am joined by a special guest, Elżbieta Franków-Jaśkiewicz, Deputy Director of the Department of Financial Information at the Polish Ministry of Finance, the Polish Financial Intelligence Unit, and current Chair of the Egmont Group. Ella has over 28 years of experience in government administration of Poland, the Polish Police, Ministry of the Interior, Ministry of Finance. For the past 21 years, Ella has focused on anti-money laundering and countering terrorist financing issues within the Polish FIU. During her time with the Egmont Group, Ella has sat on the Operational Working Group and the Information Exchange Working Group, and more recently, she's been an active member of Egmont's Technical Assistance and Training Working Group. I'm also joined today by my colleague Oliver Craven, who is an operations manager on the UKFIU's international team. So welcome, Ella and Oliver. Today we are going to talk about the important work of the Egmont Group. So for those listeners that might not be aware, the Egmont Group is a global network of financial intelligence unit that facilitates cooperation and intelligence sharing among its members to combat money laundering, the associated predicate crimes and terrorist financing. It was founded in 1995 and the organisation has now grown to include 177 member FIUs from around the world. So Ella, I'm going to come to you first. Can I ask you to explain for our listeners the role and structure of the Egmont Group in a bit more detail?
Thank you, EJ, for your question. Let me present the structure of the Egmont Group. The Egmont Group is built on a collaborative framework that comprises various groups that oversee and contribute to its main operations, an overall goal of strengthening information sharing mechanisms among its members to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. The heads of FIU are the Egmont Group's main governing body. The FIU makes consensus-driven decisions on matters affecting membership, structure, budget, and key principles, and other topics. The FIU communicate regularly through the Egmont Secure Web, our secure website, and meet at least once a year during the annual Egmont Group plenary meeting. The next element in our structure is the Egmont Committee. It is the consultation and coordination mechanism for the heads of FIU working in regional groups and the Egmont Secure Web. The EC's primary functions include assisting the Egmont Group's various activities, from internal coordination and administration to representation at international fora. The EC also oversees the Egmont Group Secretariat's work and is comprised of both working group and regional group chairs, as well as the ESW representative. The Egmont Group has 4 unique working groups with mandates to support member FIUs, and these groups include Information Exchange Working Group, Membership Support and Compliance Working Group, Policy and Procedures Working Group, Technical Assistance and Training Working Group. The regional groups assist the Egmont Group with accomplishing its goals of development, cooperation, and sharing of expertise on a regional level. Each regional group is represented by regional representatives on the Egmont Committee. Each member FIU is a regional group member. Additionally, the Egmont Group created the Egmont Center of FIU Excellence and Leadership, ECOFEL, to support and strengthen the operational capabilities and leadership skills of FIUs. ECOFEL focuses on delivering specialized training, research, and guidance to enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of FIUs worldwide. It aims to foster a deeper understanding of financial crime trends, promote best practices, and develop leadership within the FIUs to effectively combat money laundering, associated predicate crimes, and terrorist financing on a global scale. What else we have within our structure? There is an Egmont Group Secretariat that provides strategic, technical, and administrative support to the heads of FIU, the Egmont Committee, the working groups, and the regional groups. Functioning based on the Egmont Group Charter, the EGS also assists with managing the content posts in the Egmont Group Secure Web's online communities. The EGS is headed by the Executive Secretary and reports directly to the chair of the Egmont Group. The EGS was established in July 2007 and is based in Canada, in Ottawa. Mr. Jérôme Beaumont is the current Executive Secretary of the Egmont Group.
Great, thanks for that, Ella. That was a really comprehensive overview of Egmont and its various strands and groups that make it up. So if we're thinking on a practical level, what does participation in the Egmont Group look like for an FIU on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis?
Thank you very much for this question. So I would like to provide you at the beginning with some information exchange figures. The practical application of the Egmont Group's rules underscores the critical importance of international cooperation in combating money laundering, associated predicate crimes, and terrorist financing. For instance, member FIUs received more than 600 million reports in their jurisdictions in 2023. This staggering volume of data can be leveraged through the Egmont Group's network to benefit all of its members. Moreover, the group's secure information exchange platform, the Egmont Secure Web, ESW, facilitates this cooperation by enabling real-time sharing of financial intelligence and knowledge. In the same period, there were over 24,000 international bilateral and multilateral exchanges of information conducted through the ESW, underscoring the collaborative effort of FIUs across the globe in supporting law enforcement agencies before judicial proceedings. Moreover, the Egmont Group holds regular meetings which play a vital role in fostering collaboration and enhancing the effectiveness of FIUs. These meetings bring together representatives from member FIUs and focus on discussing emerging threats, sharing best practices, and coordinating strategic initiatives. For example, the annual Egmont Plenary is a significant event where members gather to review progress, set priorities for the coming year, and make critical decisions regarding the group's operations and governance. These meetings also provide an invaluable platform for networking and building relationships, which are essential for effective international cooperation. In addition to the plenary, the Egmont Group organizes various workshops, training sessions, and working group meetings throughout the year. These gatherings are designed to address specific challenges faced by FIUs and offer targeted support in areas such as technological advancements, analysis techniques, and policy development. These meetings allow FIUs members to exchange a wealth of knowledge and experience, which enhances their ability to tackle complex issues and strengthen the overall network. An essential aspect of the Egmont Group's work is the development and dissemination of typology reports. These reports are critical in identifying and analyzing patterns, methods, and trends in money laundering, associated predicate crimes, and terrorist financing. Member FIUs collaborate intensively on these projects through the group's working groups. Typology reports benefit member FIUs by offering detailed guidance on detecting and addressing emerging threats, enabling them to enhance their investigative techniques and policy frameworks. Additionally, these reports promote best practices and facilitate knowledge transfer among FIUs. By adopting the recommendations and strategies outlined in the typology reports, FIUs can improve their operational effectiveness and better protect their financial systems from exploitation. The mutual support and information sharing fostered through these collaborative projects are vital in building a resilient global network capable of combating money laundering, associated predicate crimes, and terrorist financing more effectively.
Thanks for that, Ella. It definitely sounds like there is a lot going on. So now, Oliver, I'm going to come to you. Obviously, the UKFIU international team works closely with Egmont and its members, participating in a number of the groups that Ella has just mentioned. Can you give us a bit more of an overview of the UKFIU's engagement with and participation in Egmont, and what does it look like in practice?
Yes, gladly. Ella's given us a very thorough overview there of the structures that inform the Egmont Group and the way in which the Egmont Group functions as an organisation. I'll try and add some colour from the point of view of an individual FIU. I suppose I would divide the benefits of membership of the Egmont Group into two broad areas, operational on one hand, strategic on the other. It's worth quoting a few statistics to show just how reliant we are on our Egmont membership. So over the last 3 years, the international team in the UKFIU has received an average of about 1,650 requests for information from equivalent units in other jurisdictions. And in the other direction, we've sent just over 1,000 requests on behalf of UK law enforcement to partners overseas. But we've also sent around 3,000 spontaneous disseminations of information to partner agencies over the last 3 years or so. Now, by volume, by far the most important network that we have for that information exchange is the Egmont Group. All of our groups are important, but overwhelmingly, it's the Egmont Group that we use to receive and send requests for information, which will help law enforcement to investigate financial crime. In the UK, we operate under strict legislation governing data protection and human rights. And the first benefit for us as an operational FIU in our membership of the Egmont Group is the ESW, which Ella's already mentioned. That gives us a secure network for information exchange. The IT infrastructure is relatively new. It was introduced in October last year, and it's been thoroughly tested. That helps with the efficiency of exchange between UKFIU and our colleagues in other FIUs around the world. And the Egmont Group has a helpful set of policies and rules on personnel security, premises and IT security, so we can be confident that the information that we send to other FIUs will be appropriately protected and won't be compromised or abused. Secondly, an important function of the Egmont Group is that it provides consistency in approach. Again, as we've already mentioned, Egmont's membership has grown to 177 FIUs around the world, and those FIUs come from countries but with a wide diversity of legal traditions and legislation which govern the use of information and the investigation of financial crime. The meetings that we have and the processes in place periodically to review the ways in which FIUs cooperate give us a useful means of making sure that information exchange carries on working effectively in the interests of all of us. And it also sets out a really useful framework in the principles for information exchange, which allows that cooperation to continue. I think an important collateral benefit is the networking that goes on as well, which is certainly helped by face-to-face meetings. To give one example of the benefit of that, a quite radical reform of its IT at the moment. We know that one other partner, FIU in the EU, in Estonia, in fact, is going through a similar process. And we were very pleased to be able to have a meeting with our Estonian colleagues to be able to talk frankly about some of the challenges and the experience and to pass on advice based on our experience. That wouldn't have been possible without the connections that we'd already formed through our membership of the Egmont Group. And then finally, just to expand from the perspective of one FIU on what Ella said about the expertise and the research that goes on into different types of financial crime, I fully agree with what Ella said there. Financial crime is a fast evolving landscape and new technologies represent inevitably new vulnerabilities. If we think back some years now to the introduction of 24-hour banking, and then more recently to innovations like fintech, the rise of cryptocurrency and virtual assets, the increasing use of virtual IBANs, these are all legitimate developments in the financial services industry, which can be exploited by criminals. And a really important element of the life of the Egmont Group is the way in which FIUs can pool their knowledge and carry out joint research. I'll say a bit more about that perhaps a bit later on. But to me, that's a really vital element and benefit of the Egmont Group.
Thanks, Oliver. I want to turn now to some success stories of the UKFIU's relationship with Egmont. And Oliver, I'm going to come to you first. What would you say are some of the most notable success stories in recent years of the collaboration between the UKFIU and Egmont and other Egmont members?
I'll refer back, I suppose, to my comment about the sheer volume of information which is exchanged between UKFIU and other partner FIUs in the Egmont Group. There are some really good hopeful success stories over the past few years where we've been able to add value to the investigations that partners abroad have been carrying out by identifying movements of money, but which have provided new leads in investigations or which have identified assets, but which are potentially available for confiscation for partners abroad. And of course, that benefit flows in the other direction too. But we've had some great cooperation from colleagues in FIUs in other jurisdictions, which has been extremely helpful to UK law enforcement. But I think I want to focus as well on the expertise sharing that I've touched on there and give a sense of the diversity of the work that goes on through the different working groups. We were very proud to be a leading partner in a project a few years ago now with our colleagues from the FIUs of Australia and the Philippines, which focused on the flows of finance connected to the illicit trade in material depicting the sexual abuse of children online, which is obviously a horrendous crime, something that we care about very deeply in the UK, and we know partners abroad do as well. And that project was a really valuable contribution in developing the understanding internationally of the methods that are used to buy and sell this awful material, to highlight vulnerabilities and to raise awareness in countries about what to look for and the ways in which financial intelligence can effectively support investigation and safeguard vulnerable children in what are very often desperately poor communities. So there's one instance there, but more recently, we were part of a project team on a really interesting and valuable project led by the Information Exchange Working Group, which focused on the abuse of not-for-profit organisations and the charitable sector to fund terrorism. That gave us an opportunity to work very closely with colleagues. And so it brought together a lot of very different perspectives and expertise. But it was an excellent project in the end, which produced a really useful report focusing on case studies which illustrate how the not-for-profit sector can be abused. And our contribution, together with colleagues, focused particularly on identifying specific indicators and the way in which they can be used to support analysis and help to identify instances where the not-for-profit sector is being abused for terrorism funding and differentiate that from other categories of financial crime. And we're currently part of a project team which is focusing on the role of FIUs in recovering assets and perhaps more fully incorporating the Financial Action Task Force recommendation on the use of restraint powers. So there's a great diversity of experience there. And all of this has, of course, increased knowledge and awareness of issues in UKFIU and allowed us to access the expertise of colleagues, just as I hope that our insights have helped to enrich the work of other FIUs. We're also increasing our contribution to the function of the organisation. We have an experienced member of staff currently working on loan to the Egmont Secretariat, who's providing essential support to the working groups and the regional groups and has been very closely involved in the design of the recently completed Egmont biennial census. And our head of FIU currently serves as the vice chair of the Membership Support and Compliance Working Group, which Ella's referenced. So we hope that we are fully pulling our weight as members and contributing in a meaningful way to the success of what really is a fundamentally important organisation.
Great. Thanks for that, Oliver. There's definitely some incredible examples of the importance of the collaboration across the member FIUs of the Egmont Group there. Ella, is there anything you would like to add about the collaboration between the UKFIU and other Egmont members?
Thank you, EJ. Yes, of course, I would like to add to this what was already presented by Oliver. He presented several projects in which the UKFIU is participating, has the lead role, or is contributing to them. We are grateful for the work that the UKFIU has been involved in, particularly their significant contributions to the Egmont Group's projects and initiatives, enhancing global financial security and integrity. Also, the UKFIU has been particularly helpful by engaging and providing responses to the information collection questionnaires for many other projects as well, not only these mentioned by Oliver. I would like also to stress the UK engagement with ECOFEL. ECOFEL was launched in 2018 after seed funding from Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office from the UK. UKFIU has been a past donor for ECOFEL program, also for several activities that have been conducted by our ECOFEL Center of Excellence. Oliver mentioned already secondment program that functions within the Egmont Group. where we invite the senior officers to support the Egmont Group Secretariat. Such a senior officer has been provided by the UKFIU to work within the Secretariat. And last but not least, of course, I would like to once again to thank the UKFIU for involving Vince O'Brien as the Vice Chair of the Membership Support and Compliance Working Group.
Great, thank you. So finally now, Ella, we're going to look to the future. What are the next steps for Egmont, or the progress that Egmont intends to make in the coming months and years, particularly in relation to its strategic plan?
There is plenty of work that we expect to be done in the coming years. One of the important new projects we are currently drafting is related to effective informal international cooperation, one of our goals. This topic goes to the heart of the Egmont Group and is essential for any effective AML-CFT system. International cooperation in AML-CFT is essential for detecting, preventing, and restraining illicit financial activity worldwide. Globalization of financial systems enables rapid cross-border fund movement, making it challenging for any jurisdiction to combat money laundering, terrorist financing effectively. Competent authorities like FIUs, law enforcement authorities, receive increasingly varied information, different types of reports, virtual assets information, bulk data. We need to work on them. New technology enhancements may assist in improving informal international cooperation. Also, there are transnational crimes that involve more than one jurisdiction, posing unique challenges in understanding causes, prevention strategies, and effective information exchange procedures. Informal exchange of information is quick and secure through channels like Egmont Secure Web, FIUnet, ARIN networks, Interpol channels, and Siena. We will explore these channels for a better exchange of information. Data exchange helps verify money laundering, terrorist financing facts, and provide valuable insights into illicit financial activities. Also, strategic intelligence related to money laundering, terrorist financing risks, information exchange particularities, objectives, and quality is often exchanged. And I hope, last but not least, technological enhancements like AI, big data analysis, cryptographic methods, and data triage increase the speed, security, and quality of such exchange of data internationally in an informal way as well. I wanted to conclude by mentioning two of the Egmont Group strategic objectives, including in our strategic plan 2022-2027, namely to enhance non-traditional partnerships such as the one we are currently building related to our participation in COP29, including with organizations like United for Wildlife, where the UK is also very active, or the one we already enhanced with the International Association of Prosecutors. These are all very important initiatives as they widen our perspective and make it possible for our members to benefit from the knowledge and information collected by these partners. Inclusively, we want to make all necessary efforts to support candidate FIUs, especially from Africa and the Asia and Pacific regions, to successfully complete their membership process, as this can only strengthen our network and help FIUs in their efforts to tackle money laundering, terrorist financing, and predicate crime. I would like to underscore the importance of Technical Assistance and Training Working Group and ECOFEL here. Their efforts to train and support candidate FIUs are priceless. However, we should not forget the role of sponsor FIUs. Hence, I would like to thank them all as well. To summarize, we have done a lot in the past few years to enhance the role and visibility of FIUs in the global AML-CFT fora. However, a lot is still to be done, but working together with our members and partners is the key to success. Of course, implementing our strategic approach and keep enhancing the use of technology in all FIUs operations.
Thanks for that, Ella. It sounds like there's some really fantastic things to come, so we will watch this space. I would like to thank you, Ella, for joining us from Poland today and for taking the time to share some really important insights into the work of the Egmont Group, past, present, and for the future. And to thank you too, Oliver, for joining me here in Birmingham and offering your insightful perspective as well. Remember that to keep up to date with our latest podcasts, magazines, and other UKFIU guidance products, please follow the UKFIU's X, formerly Twitter, or LinkedIn pages. You can also find our full collection of podcasts on Spotify and other major streaming platforms. So thank you for listening. I have been Emma Jane Turner, and this has been the UKFIU podcast.